Hey everyone, welcome back to our New Testament challenge. Today we're here in John chapter 4, and today I want us to look at verses 39 through 42. But before we get to those three verses, we're going to set the scene here. And to lead up to the story, we have the story of the Samaritan woman. And just to start off with, the story of the Samaritan woman would have been breaking down cultural walls. Jesus would not have been allowed to, or it would have been looked down upon for him to talk to a Samaritan. They were unclean people. It would have been improper and countercultural for him to talk to a woman. And then also, this woman was extremely sinful. We see in verse 15, it says, or verse 16, it says, Jesus says, "Go call your husband and come back here." And she says, "I don't have a husband." She answered, and it says, "You correctly said, I don't have a husband." Jesus said, "For you have had 5 husbands, and the one you have now is not your husband. What you have said is true." So this woman was sinful. She had been around all these different men, done all these horrible things. But Jesus teaches her about the living water that Jesus provides. And we see this woman, she comes and then she has this encounter with Jesus, and she goes back and she's telling everyone about him. And that's where we're at here in verse 39. It says, "Now many Samaritans from that town believed in him because of what the woman said when she testified. 'He told me everything I ever did.' So when the Samaritans came to him, they asked him to stay with them. He stayed there 2 days. Many more believed because of what he said. And they told the woman, 'We no longer believe because of what you said, since we have heard for ourselves, know that this really is the Savior of the world.'" And so what I love about this story is this woman. She was, sinful human being, was caught in her sin. Jesus calls her out on it. And when we get called out on our sin, we get defensive, and a lot of times we want to argue and whatnot. But we all sin. That's a part of who we are. We can't change that. We're all sinful human beings. But this is the thing. She has this encounter with Jesus. She knows that he is the Savior of the world. And she goes and she starts telling about everyone about it in the town. And we see here in verse 42, it says, "We no longer believe because of what you said, since we have heard for ourselves and know that this really is the Savior of the world." So this woman's testimony, this woman testifying about Jesus, of what he has done for her, led others to Jesus. Because of what the woman said, people came to know Jesus. Just because she went and told someone, people know about Jesus. But yet, this woman who was ashamed of her sin had, been around with all these different men, done who knows what all kinds of horrible things, was not ashamed to go out and to tell others about Jesus. And when she did, people came to know him and how great he is and that he is the Savior of the world. But yet we can't tell the person that we're sitting next to in class or at work or on our sports team about Jesus because we're too scared about embarrassing them because, well, they know I've done this. So what are they going to think about, that I've done this and I'm trying to tell them about Jesus? This woman had been with 5 different men, at least 5 different men. And so this woman was sinful, but because of her testimony, because of her going out and telling others about what Jesus has done for her, people came to know the Savior of the world. And that is the call. That is what you and I have been called to do as believers, is to go out and tell others about him. Because when we do, people come to know the Savior of the world. We cannot be silent as believers and just let someone else tell them about Jesus. It is our job as believers to tell others who we come in contact with about Jesus and what he has done for us and how he has saved my life and how he can save theirs. So today, as you walk through the halls, I hope and I pray that you will tell others around you about Jesus and what he has done for you. Hope you have a great rest of your day.